Ah, well, that was a refreshing hyperspace drive, jump, whatever, and yeah, welcome back to The Force Unleashed.
Well, we actually haven't gone anywhere yet. Apparently, before we go and kill a Jedi, we have to learn the basics of how to move things with the Force.
Oh. I thought this was our final test. Wouldn't that be previously?
Maybe this is also our first day of training.
Maybe.
Darth Vader has a harsh school.
Mm-hmm. How'd we get so old, though? Did he just stick us in a room for 20 years?
Well, maybe he's like a really nice father, actually, and he like let him be a kid, but then now he's turned 19, he's out of the house, that kind of thing.
Does that remind you of one of the cores from Portal a bit? Or it did? It doesn't so much, but the thing you're throwing around. Space, 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 space.
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah, right now it looks a bit like one.
But the cores are tiny and they're spherical.
I didn't say it was an exact representation. What are those things you're smashing?
Glass, apparently. I thought Star Wars only had transparent steel.
Yeah. Lovely tutorial here. Why are there stormtroopers on board?
Oh, they're holograms. Come on, this is the tutorial. You should be paying attention.
I tend to not pay attention to tutorials and just try and figure this stuff out.
Yeah, I love this. They're programmed to not notice you, so you can just go and do this.
Dunk.
Dunk.
What was that?
I don't know. But yeah, that's actually a good segue. You see, this game uses the Euphoria engine. This is a fancy engine originally created for the Indiana Jones game that never got made. Basically, every enemy has a central nervous system. So they can do all sorts of crazy advanced AI stuff. They'll try and grab onto things when they're being pushed around. They'll grab onto each other for support. They'll help themselves up by using nearby objects. And they can even do weird things like misjudge their own strength and jump too far or not far enough or something like that. Kind of gets wasted on this game, but it's a kind of neat little thing. And it's not a perfect engine either, so it kind of leads to some weird and sometimes hilarious stuff.
Yes. I can't think of any other games that use it. I'm not that.
I'm pretty sure it was only used for Force Unleashed, because it was supposed to be used for Indiana Jones, but they just never ended up making that game.
Yeah.
Why is it that Proxy gets tired after you being a hologram?
It's hard work impersonating someone.
He's a droid. Why would it, like...
Droids are people too, except when, you know, they aren't. Okay, Nar Shadaa. Now light speed.
Yes. And Rahm Kota, one of the original characters for this game.
Murdering a stormtrooper. Real Jedi like.
That's not murder.
Yeah, he just stabbed him in the back, even though he had him totally overpowered.
Jedi don't say no murder, they say no killing certain people.
Okay. Oh, what's this?
I've finally drawn you out of hiding.
So yes, Rahm Kota's motivation, he wants to lure Vader to him. Seems legit.
That's not too hard. All you have to do is just say, I'm a Jedi, I'm just sitting here. I guess that's what he's doing, but...
Yeah, and it didn't really work out.
And why would he want to draw Vader out of hiding? And why even say out of hiding? It's not as if he's hiding. Okay.
So, now we're controlling Starkiller. And he's very different from Vader. He's way faster, for one thing. He can also double jump and casually destroy droids.
And he holds the lightsaber backwards.
Which is so cool.
Definitely. I think it's Form 5 or something. That's the style of lightsaber discipline. Just cut the head off. Decapitate poor R2.
Yeah, one of the only instances of decapitation in this game, but not so in the second.
Oh, nice, nice. They have a nice... Power droids do explode when you reach their reactor core.
Well, yeah, apparently they have a fusion core.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of a big deal if that blew up.
There's a lot of stuff that seems to utilize fusion cores. Oh, limited energy, yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird, out-of-place, cartoony power-ups in this game where you just get like unlimited power or invincibility. Oh, wait a second. Subtle reference. I'll leave that for you to decide. But yes, every level also has a optional mission. In this case, destroy 10 TIE Fighters. Why? I don't know. But you always get a bonus. There's these things called talent spheres, which you use to upgrade your force powers. And you always get a bonus talent sphere for completing this bonus objective. Now, I honestly think this is the most fun, proper level, because at this point you're still really overpowered and you can really tackle things however you want.
Well, because the enemies are just so...
Yeah, they're just so weak, you can do whatever you really want to do with it. Later on, enemies start having one specific weakness and you can only really do that, and it gets kind of annoying in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, Starkiller also has a dash, which is pretty much useless, but in my opinion, really cool looking. That's kind of this game in a nutshell.
Yeah. Oh well. I like the little touch there, the crash land the shuttle.
Now, Starkiller doesn't actually use his lightsaber backwards in the Wii version. For some reason, they deemed it necessary to completely change his fighting style because it wouldn't feel natural shaking the Wiimote. Because everyone knows the Wiimote's known for its one-to-one motion that really makes it feel like you're using a lightsaber.
And everybody plays it standing up just like they're the real Starkiller. They don't sit down on their couches at all and just wiggle the Wiimote when it tells it to.
Mm-hmm. They don't use his button presses or anything, no.
No, they don't plug in the classic controller and play with that. No.
If they could. That should have been an option for more games. I mean, the Wii version actually also is the PlayStation 2 version as well, so they really could have just used the classic controller and had the controls of the PlayStation 2 version. But yes, for some reason, despite being a Sith, you will go around collecting Jedi holocrons throughout the levels. There are generally 20, sometimes 10. Or wait, no, there's generally 10, sometimes 5. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, they have all sorts of bonuses. They'll give you extra force points, which go towards leveling up your characters to get more talent spheres. They'll give you alternate costumes and lightsaber colors. They'll even give you special crystals that can increase the special abilities of your lightsaber.
Yellow lightsaber crystal.
Yes.
Fun.
The least common lightsaber, I might add.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me, there's special DLC for both Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2, and in one of them, they actually have Princess Leia as a Jedi, and she uses a yellow lightsaber.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Why is the locking mechanism a giant
arrow? This is actually the most complex locking system in the entire game, too, because from this point on, you will never have to go up and down at the same time. It's kind of weird.
I do love smashing open doors.
I wish it was more clear when you had to do that, though, because sometimes I'll be running into a door waiting for it to open, or sometimes I'll force push a door and it'll just open automatically. Oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah. Now, these troopers look a lot like Rebel troopers, I might say. Mm-hmm. The same stupid hats that look kind of like toads.
What? The Rebels' hats are functional, sort of. Maybe.
Why does anyone wear armor in a sci-fi universe?
Well, Stormtroopers do because they look cool.
Well, actually, Stormtroopers is life support armor.
Oh yeah.
So they can like go on hostile planets and stuff.
Oh, can't get through. Nope.
Yeah, so level up, and it freezes time and space.
Dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, whenever you level up, you get 3 talent spheres. They each serve a different purpose. It's actually kind of weird, the whole level up system, because there are a lot less spheres needed for certain fields of powers than others, and yet there's about an equal number of spheres, and you'll probably end up with a huge surplus in at least one category by the end of the game. But yeah, you can increase your innate skills like health and force regeneration.
It's starting to look like an RPG.
This is nothing like an RPG.
It says fortitude.
Oh, okay.
That's an RPG.
I'm convinced now.
I don't play many RPGs.
Yeah, you can also unlock new combo attacks with your lightsaber and force powers, and you can unlock entirely new force powers, or at least upgrade the ones you currently have. And I do my best to show off these. I don't actually show the leveling up itself because that's boring, but I do my best to show off the different combos and force powers and stuff throughout this commentary.
Oh yeah. It's good. Very decent of you. Thank you. I'm very appreciative.
But But is it just me, or are Jedi holocrons objectively better than Sith holocrons? They give you actual permanent power-ups, which I guess is kind of fitting, actually. Sith holocrons give you way better powers, but they're really short-lived, and then that's that. Jedi holocrons give you permanent increase to your something. They're always permanently beneficial.
Yeah. Nice little commentary there, I guess. Just stabbed your lightsaber into a fuel tank. Yeah, that
Worked well for me.
Hey, you have so much health in this.
Well, at least at the start. And you're constantly getting more health thanks to killing everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. If there's a fuel tank, you can just self-destruct right in front of it, and as long as you kill a bunch of people with it, it'll come out unscathed. There's actually a whole bunch of bonuses and stuff you can get for killing stormtroopers and the like in unique ways. There's like basic things like Frenzy, where it just rewards you for killing a ton of enemies at once. There's more complex stuff like destroying them with the environment or doing some sort of special or unique type of kill or something like that.
This isn't going to end well for the TIE Fighters.
This game actually does a really good job making these things feel like metal and that kind of thing.
Like bending it? Certainly?
Yeah, like it feels... At the same time, it's kind of weird though. Like these things have real sense of weight, and it's like difficult to bend metal and that kind of stuff. But what I thought the whole thing was like, it didn't really matter what it was because of the Force. Like if the Force is so powerful, why is it actually harder to lift heavy things than the Force Unleashed of all things? Then again, why is there a Force gauge? Now, yeah, it's weird. You'd think these metal bar things could just be used to constantly destroy TIE fighters, but nope, it just bends that one for some reason. And it's weird.
It's such a funny like animation. The TIE fighter just brushes it aside.
But yeah, at this point, I hadn't actually realized that I'd gotten all the TIE fighters needed for the bonus objective, so
you just
I started backtracking and trying to destroy more of them, but nothing happened, so I was like, what? And I wasted a bunch of time, so I just faded there.
No, yeah. Very good of you. Thank you. Very appreciative.
But yes, these fuel tanks, they're going to be your best friend in this game. They are the best weapon in the entire game. Screw force power, screw force lightning and lightsabers and stuff. Throwing fuel tanks is the one true path to victory.
Well, in real life, if you throw fuel tanks around, you're going to do pretty darn well.
More well than if you shoot lightning out of your fingers?
Well, you'd probably end up electrocuting yourself, so you know.
Okay, well how about just shooting a shockwave out of your fingers?
Do you know anyone who can shoot a shockwave out of their fingers?
Starkiller.
Yeah, true.
It's kind
And
of
even he resorts to throwing fuel tanks around. Oh. That's the tip of the day, throw fuel tanks around.
Yep. This slam attack is taken directly out of Lego Star Wars. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, that's reminding me too. Who are these guys? Oh,
They're not the brightest. Then I go into the elevator and they're like, oh, okay.
Are we supposed to be shooting the man? I don't know. Oh, what's...
Yeah, be careful of
clever.
elevators in this game, by the way. Elevators have a nasty habit of becoming completely impenetrable barriers to your progress. You can never backtrack after certain elevators. Not all elevators, mind you. Some of them will take you right back down, but yeah.
You'll never know which ones.
Yep. Unless you watch this commentary.
Yet another reason to watch it.
Or you could Google it. I mean, what?
Yeah. Are those fuel tanks? They seem to explode.
Yep.
They look just like boxes.
Well, that's weird. Some of the boxes explode into electricity. But it's weird. Electricity is...
What just happened?
F-Force pushed fuel tanks, of course.
Ah.
But yeah, electricity isn't as powerful as fire in this game. Which is weird. I always kind of figured that, you know, electricity was a bit more powerful.
Why does that guy have a melee weapon and he's not a Jedi?
Because different enemy types, obviously.
But really, there's a reason no one in the armed forces carries swords anymore, because everybody has guns.
Well, there are physical weapons, though. It's just not swords anymore, because that's kind of stupid. Yeah, no, like the...
But that guy doesn't have a gun, too. He just has his little shock stick thing.
Well,
Like
to
a nightstick.
be fair, it could just be like a security forces type thing. Like, there's still, like, police batons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
of course, why they're in a militia.
Yeah, why is he invading a hostile enemy ship with...
But you know, the thing is, melee attackers are kind of the biggest threats in the game. So they're doing something right. I don't know, I'll take any excuse I can to have physical attacks be a thing in a game or anything like that. Because it's just way more interesting to hit someone with a lightsaber than it is to shoot guns at things, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And, you know, people always complain about, like, in the Star Wars movies, how the lightsaber duels are over-elaborate or something like that. And I hate that logic, because why would you hate something that looks cool? Mm-hmm. Like, people will say, like, oh, episode 1 is terrible in every way, because even that, like, awesome fight scene at the end, it's just over-elaborate and doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, that's what I'm really looking for in Star Wars, a perfectly logical fight scene.
I don't know, I heard that the episode 7 is going to be entirely perfectly logical. It's...
Well, it's perfectly logical. Why are they bringing Mark Hamill back?
Yeah, but J.J. Abrams looks like he...
I heard that they could have had Joss Whedon, though, and that would be so much cooler.
Yeah. No, Star Trek was pretty good.
Yeah, but that's the thing, it's just pretty good. That's actually this... I don't know, I haven't followed that much of Star Trek. I've only seen that J.J. Abrams movie, and I think a little bit of the TV show when I was younger, but anyways, I did like it, so I think that they'll do a decent job with Star Wars, but I don't know.
Cool.
If there's anything that I do know, it's that despite what people said, Disney can make Star Wars worse. I mean, they've signed a contract with EA. Enough has been said.
Well, they did a pretty good job with Avengers, so...
Well, yeah, but that was just Marvel doing their own thing and Disney saying that they did it. And yes, I love the fact you can just throw soldiers at the TIE Fighters to blow them up.
TIE Fighters, you're so fragile. But we love you anyway.
Well, to be fair, you are firing a person at who knows how fast, using the Force at that. But yeah, I do love just... There's so many ways you can play around with Force powers in this.
Yeah.
Also, those laser blasts are pathetic. Did you see how much health it took off one of those generic grunts? It was like barely a black dot on the health bar. Oh, darn.
Killer cam there. You missed.
But yeah, it's weird. The destructibility of TIE Fighters is completely random. Like, you can jump up and hit it with a lightsaber, and nothing...
What are you doing to that poor fellow?
Spinning him. There's so much... Like, seriously...
See vomit coming out.
This game is worth it just for the fun you can have with Force Grip. Seriously. There's so much fun to be had with that. Combined with the Euphoria engine, there's just... It's so good. Like... Oh yeah, the door's not affected at all by Force because it opens on its own. Oops. See you next time.
Yeah, bye-bye.